Woo!
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Welcome.
morning. Good morning, Tammy. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, I have had some sunshine lately, so I'm doing very well. How are you
Wonderful.
feeling?
I am feeling so much better. I am feeling so much better. And I am excited to be here to share another guest. Today we have a guest after our amazing live last week. It was so interactive, so amazing. And we're going to reveal our middle name today, right, Tammy?
We are. So, I want to say hi to Ike. I know she's watching because she's already like, hey, you guys are a little bit late. Yes, we are.
She keeps us accountable.
She does. I love her.
Yes, I love her too. I know I'll meet her someday. This is so awesome. So we are excited for you. We have an amazing guest. She's one of my good friends. But before we say more about her, we just want to give you a little video that Tammy designed and created for us, and then we'll go on. But any other announcements, Tammy? We other than we're gonna
So
reveal our
I
middle
want
name.
everybody to make sure you check out our website, look at our retreat adventures. I've been adding more stuff constantly,
Yes.
changing something. If you see something that, hey, Tammy, you misspelled this or something, please let me know. I actually appreciate it when it's done in a positive, kind way, like Ike does for us.
Constructive, yes.
I do love it. And we are actually going to be coming up with, for, as you know, we're going to be celebrating our 1 year here on March 28th. And to make it fun and interactive, we're going to have scavenger kind of hunts that you're
Mm.
going to be able to do from home.
I am excited about that because you guys proved to be amazing and fun, interactive people with our last broadcast. So Tammy and I are like, this went so well. What can we do for our 1 year celebration? And we are gonna plan, and we're planning something great for you. Tammy comes up with the greatest ideas.
Well, it's going to be fun. We're going to have prizes. I mean, what a way to celebrate.
Yay. Okay, so let's watch that little video very quick. And let's move this on. Yay!
Yay!
I love that. I love it. I love it. So we are excited to bring in an amazing friend. I consider Sandra Cook my good friend. I think we go way back like 20 plus years. And we have her in here because of her love of nature. And I am going to let you get to know her and invite her in because she has stories to tell you, and she is going to take loving nature and the outdoors to the next level. I think that's the best way to describe how much love Sandra has for nature and the outdoors. I know Tammy does too.
I love Sandra's positivity, and I do love her love of nature. So I am excited as well. So to get to know her more.
Yes, and you can ask Sandra questions about dirt and the soil and planting. And she is an amazing human being, friend, survivor, and warrior. And this is Sandra. Hello, Sandra. How are you? Welcome.
Sandra, you need to unmute yourself for us, please, so we can hear you.
Oh, there
There
we
you
go.
go.
Thank you.
Yay.
Welcome.
Yes, Sandra, we have a group of people here that are people that watch live, like Aika, like Erin, and they were like, "Are you coming up because it's time and you're not there yet?" And
Hi,
they're like,
everyone.
yes, yes. So welcome everybody. And Aika is saying, hello, Sandra. Welcome to the group.
So,
Thank
Sandra,
you for having
Sandra,
me.
can you tell the rest of our group where you're from? Are you a mom? Just a little bit of information about you, please.
Well, I am a Texan, and I just feel like I'm a citizen of the world, most of all. And I have a bunch of kids that are amazing and wonderful, and always have loved nature, being outside, growing things, plants. If you were in my room right now, there are several plants around me. It's looking kind of wild in here, but those are the basics about me, pretty much. I love to hike, like to run, love to exercise, anything to do with being healthy. I like it and I love it. So,
And like I said, Sandra and I have been friends for over 20 years. Do they need to know more? I mean, did I get that right? Or has it been more than 25 years
yes,
already? I
we've
don't
been,
know.
yes, it's been pretty much 25 years that we've been friends. So we know each other pretty well, and we've climbed the hills and the valleys together. So it's been a good thing. It's been a good thing.
Yeah.
It's been a good
And
friendship.
if you want to look, I don't know how many, maybe a couple of months back, I had a little bit of a live video or posted some videos of Sandra and I going on walks. And it's funny because going on walks without a stroller is kind of like the more recent things because we used to go out with like two or three kids sometimes
Yes.
on the trails pushing strollers with our little kids and
Yes. I
Sandra.
remember those times. I I remember the fussy baby, especially the last one, Felicity. Always had to be held, always had to be close, and always had to be moving in some way, whether that was in a car or a stroller. And I remember us being in the malls, even walking when it was cold outside, because otherwise Felicity wasn't having it. She was a very unhappy child when she was not being held or rolled or whatever. So those were some trying times, but memorable and fun times.
Yeah, so Sandra, you said Aika is celebrating the fact that you say citizen of the world. She loves that. And I love the fact that Aika is tagging a bunch of people. I need to do that thing like at
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you so much.
And so I wanted to ask you, one of that experiences you mentioned, Felicity, was when your amazing and wise, book knowledgeable pediatrician said that you needed to stop nursing your baby. Why was that, and what did you do? Amy Todisco, if you're watching, you're gonna love this.
Well, I have to tell you, mm, I'm not going to name any names because she's still my pediatrician and I value her book knowledge. But as she has never been a mother,
Mm.
I value my knowledge and the knowledge, first of all, I believe of God, and also other mothers who've actually had the experience of, actually having children physiologically. Not to say that adoptive mothers don't have that same intellect and intuition. So,
Or aunts
but
or
she did tell me
grandmas,
because
right?
Felicity was,
Yeah.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. She did tell me that because Felicity was born lactose intolerant, that I needed to stop nursing because she had blood in her stool. So, and I'm like, this is my last kid, and nursing is such a bonding thing. It really is. Um, it's such a beautiful thing. I mean, that's what the mammary glands were designed to do and to nourish and to heal and to comfort. And so I'm like, no way, she must be out of her mind. So we had a friend actually in our ward, Sister Hershey. I called her. I think you told me she was a vegan. So I knew that I had to change my diet in order to have that beautiful experience of nursing my child. So called Sister Hershey, came right over. She said, take this out of your diet, take this out of your diet. Mainly what we need to take out of the diet was casein, milk products. And she turned me on to something that I totally did not like for the first part of my life. she turned me on to the beauty of avocados. And oh my gosh, I want to be buried with avocados. I mean, I love them so much. I love them so much. And she just helped me to change my diet. And I went on to nurse Felicity for 6 years. I know that's a lot. I know you guys are saying, oh man, that's a lot. But she was my last baby, and she went on to be a strong girl and do very well. So I think we have to sometimes fight for what we want and what we know we need and what
Mhm.
we know our kids need, regardless of the lettering behind someone's name, MD or whatever. You have to trust
I
yourself,
agree with
and
that,
that's what I
Sandra.
did.
Our kids'
So
pediatrician was known as one of the best in the Willamette Valley when we lived down in Oregon. And he once made the statement to me. He's like, no matter what, Tammy, trust your instincts are just people. Yes, we've had a lot of training, but a mom actually has usually has better instincts or gut feelings that can tell what it is. I mean, I used to be able to say, okay, they have strep or they have an ear infection. I would kind of know just by their symptoms before I even took them in. So,
Yeah, that's a
yes, you
wise
just know.
doctor. That's a wise
You
doctor
just
that,
yes, and
yeah.
an
very
open-minded
wise.
one, an open-minded one.
Yes.
Sandra, from there, you said like Felicity used to always want to move, and she turned out to be this healthy, cute, energetic baby girl.
Yes.
She's the same age as my youngest as well. But then can you
Yes, they were buddies.
yeah, can you share
Mhm.
with us that love of nature, that love of walking? I think your mom used to also love to walk. And maybe when is your first memory of thinking, oh, I can do this and this is amazing for me?
Well, my mother grew up in the backwoods of Arkansas, where the pines reigned and things like that. And she also grew up on a farm. And unfortunately for my mom, she became widowed very early. My father died when I was 5 of cancer. And also, another thing, my mom never learned to drive, so she basically had to walk everywhere. But having that farming background, she really did enjoy being out in nature. And I remember as a young girl, my mom sometimes, because of my father dying at a young age, um, she would sometimes have to work 2 or 3 jobs. And there was no backup, there was no government help, there was no family members that could help. She had to do the very best she could. I remember because we were latchkey kids, and she would come home and leave one job and go to the next.
Mm.
And she had one day off per week. She had this garden on this plot of land in the backyard, and that's how she would decompress. She would go out and she would grow tall okra, flowers, whatever, something to put on the dinner table. And I saw that, and that's how she dealt with the tragedy of losing her husband early. That's how she dealt with the stress of raising 4 kids. It was 3 girls and 1 boy, and the boy was really hard to raise. Love you, my brother. But that's how she dealt with her stress. And I saw such a strong woman. And I think you really don't realize this until you become maybe a mother yourself, how hard and how resilient your parents are when they are going through things. And I think sometimes that becomes the bridge for you to go over yourself when your hard times come, because they will. It's not if, they will.
It's just a matter of when, right? Instead.
Yes.
So that example, I think I'm envisioning it. I'm visualizing her doing it to the stress, but also another motivation is like, I must, because this is something for our table too. Um,
Yes. Yes.
twofold, right? Um,
Exactly.
maybe life forced her to it, but she stepped up to it, and it was a blessing for her. And then for
And just
you,
remember, she grew up on a farm.
mm,
So she knew how to do these things. And also, I would say, even the necessity of having to do it, she also enjoyed doing it because that's something
Mhm.
that she did in her childhood. And it sort of became a hobby. And so I know that when the hard times came in my life, I went into nature. I had no choice as well. It was either go off on the deep end and jump, or it was to go into what I knew that could help me. So,
We have one of our viewers saying that I think the headline in this is stepping up. And I love that because I have to make the
yes,
most of the circumstances and step up to the plate. Oh my goodness. I am exhausted just to hear that your mom had three jobs after the loss of her husband, your dear dad. And but what a great example. I know one thing I know about Sandra is that she holds her dear mom in her the highest regard. She always showed a lot of respect. Always
don't start the tears.
you have celebrated her wisdom and
Yeah,
how you hear her voice still echoing like those
I
words of
do.
wisdom in your heart and in your mind.
Literally, I
Very beautiful.
honestly, I know that everyone thinks that their mom is the best mom, but I had the best mom. She was my best friend. She was. She wasn't afraid to tell me how it is, how, even things I didn't want to hear about myself. She wasn't afraid, but she was still a friend. She was a good example of being a very strong, inspiring woman. And I'm so thankful if I can be half the woman she was. I would actually be doing pretty good. I don't even think I'm able to get to that capacity in my life the way
So,
she was.
what I love about your story is the fact that because my grandparents and my parents grew up on farms, and so did I, had huge ranches and stuff. And when you grow up, and I know probably a lot of our viewers had, especially if you moved here from other countries or wherever, no matter where you are, we used to all have grandparents or somebody that was on a farm. And
Yes.
what is great is the fact that your mom, she was raised to learn how to garden. I mean, I remember my grandparents,
Yes.
I was probably only 2 years old, if that. I remember watching my grandmother watching me, and I'd be walking in the rows with her while she was planting, and she'd have me put seeds in the soil,
Mm.
and I was not that big.
Yes.
And I did the same thing with our grandkids and with our daughters. Even though we lived in town, I still had we put in a huge garden for our tenants, and so we had
Yes.
gardens for them so they could plant zucchini and different things. Even though we'd go out to the orchards and different other farms, but I wanted them to learn how to grow things. And to this day, they each grow things. Both of our daughters do. Our grandkids know how to plant stuff. It's just like one of those things you pass down because, like you said, it's not only helps us when we grow our own vegetables because then we know what's in our vegetables,
Yes.
but it's also kind of the earthing grounding effect where you're getting to put your hands in that soil. I know yesterday when I was out weeding because I was like, okay, I got to do at least one garden box or one flower bed a day. Start doing it so they're ready. But when you're just sitting there putting with the sun beating down on you and you're pulling out those weeds, it is relaxing even if it is work, right?
It's really therapeutic, it's really therapeutic. I mean, I even hate to use garden gloves because I love the feel of dirt on my
Mhm.
hands. And I tell everybody, on Sunday, I really like to dress up nice. I like to dress up for Heavenly Father on Sunday. I can do it one day. And I said, I'm sorry if you see some dirt under my nails because I love digging in the dirt. So if you see dirt under my nails, it's because I've been gardening. But it's so therapeutic. I mean, when you walk on the grass with bare feet,
Mhm.
you actually feel the energy of the earth. When you hug a tree, I feel like there's a transfer of energy and love and peace, and you transfer all of your problems to it, and it can handle it because it's strong enough to handle it. So guys, start hugging your trees. I am serious and I am not crazy.
I
Start
know.
hugging them.
Yesterday, I did pull out the dirt out of underneath my nails. So, and luckily, because like you said, it can be hard if you've been out there, your hands get really dry. But
Yes.
thankfully to Carrie, that's one of our members here, I use some of her salve on my hands that she
Hmm.
creates.
Nice.
And
The
it
mango
actually,
one?
yes, the mango one, it works really
Oh,
nice.
they look nice.
Yeah. So here our viewers are saying that is so great. Always wish my parents would have gardened. My folks were into hiking and flowers, etc. And that's where I got my love for nature. Every day after dinner, there would be a walk with the dog into the woods or fields. But then again, that was Germany.
Hmm.
Um, and Carrie says, Tammy, that's what nail brushes are for. I have them at
Yes,
every sink. Oh, that's pretty
yes,
cool. Okay.
yes,
Of course,
yes,
that came
yes.
from Carrie.
Yes.
And Carrie
I
also
do
said,
have one.
yeah. So Carrie also says that she had her boys planting too. And also another viewer was celebrating your mom, and she's saying what a great testimony of your mom, Sandra.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I
She was
wanna,
the best.
yeah, I wanna ask you also, what else have you been able to draw from nature? What
You know,
else? Yeah.
I have to say honestly that between Heavenly Father and between my daughter Felicity and nature, my last child, Felicity, literally is somewhat saved my life. Unfortunately, in 2015, my oldest daughter passed away very suddenly. And it basically is still so fresh. We just celebrated her birthday, February 23rd. And it feels like it was just last week or yesterday. And the only way I knew, I tried everything to, well, let me start over. Felicity's school started 10 days after her passing. And I had two choices. I could lay in the bed and stay there, which I wanted to do, or I can get up and walk my kid to school. I knew I had to because I was still a mom and I had to be there for my other kids. So inside, my heart was broken. And it still is, just in all honesty. It's better, but it still is. And I also had to go through a lawsuit as well, and I can't talk too much about that. It's settled now. And but the pain never left. The pain is still there. It's just I'm very good at compartmentalizing things. I have to put things in boxes in order to function. So if I thought about Ashley all day long, I would never get anything done. So I had things that I tried to do to get better because I owe that to my kids to get better. So I would walk Felicity to school and the teachers all knew that I could not talk. I could not just have small talk with them. They knew why. And they gave me, an excuse on that, and I appreciate it. Um, but I also sought out counseling for, counseling. That did not work for me at all. It didn't make things better. Um, and I started a grief counseling group where everyone in the room had lost someone close to them. So that helped a little bit. But ultimately, my faith in Heavenly Father helped the most, and also getting out in nature and just walking like every day, getting away from everyone, walking through the trees, going on trails, walking, praying, even crying sometimes in the woods because I couldn't do it in front of other people. And after a while, people get tired of you talking about your loved one. They do. They get tired of it. They want you to move on. And, and for good reasons, they want you to move on. And but going to the woods and walking the trails, that's what helped me the most. Just being there and absorbing whatever the woods gave me. they gave me a reason to go on. They listened to me. They listened to my pain. And just moving my body, for some reason, just moving my body helped me to be able to cope with the loss of my daughter. It did not make it easier because I feel like, everyone's gathered in except for one. There's one that is not gathered in, but it helped me to be out in nature to accept. And my thing is too, my faith was very strong and it still is. I never asked God why, because I know he knows better than me. And I know that she belonged to him before she belonged to me. So asking him why was totally irrelevant because I know his thoughts are higher than mine. But being out in nature and walking, and what I do in honor of my daughter, I go to Maine every year. Kennebunkport, Maine is where she spent a lot of her childhood memories of being at the beach with her grandparents. And I go to Maine every year. Her ashes are in uh, the ocean there at I can't remember. I know you're watching Kimberly, but I cannot remember. Mother's Beach. Her ashes are at Mother's Beach where she played as a little girl. And I go back to Maine every year to just honor her life. When I spread her ashes, I played every Queen song that I knew of. I can't listen to Queen right now because it would, a deluge of tears would come. But and I'm really kind of afraid of deep water, but that day I walked into that water and I spread my daughter's ashes
Mm.
and I brought her to a place that I knew she wanted to be. And I go back every year just to somewhat be with her. I know she's with me now, but I go back every year just to honor her memory because she was an amazing girl, an
Mm.
amazing girl.
And I remember you through all this, Sandra, and the way you have um I don't know if to say dealt with it or accepting it and letting all these emotions flow through the years and in nature. One of our viewers is saying, I connect with you for not asking why. The loss of my husband was excruciating, yet I knew Bob had a new purpose in another place. Another one is saying, may you find solace that she's where we all ultimately seek to be. And Erin is saying connection with nature is so powerful, being embraced by Mother Earth.
Yes,
Aika is saying, and I think you will agree with this, Sandra. To me, Mother Nature and walking barefoot or grounding is literally connecting with God.
yes.
And everybody's saying, I'm sorry for your loss, sorry for your loss.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
yeah, may your memories of your beautiful daughter keep your soul nourished. I mean,
Thank you.
beautiful support group here in this community. And I I know that what goes on in those walks is sacred and very, very, very
Yes,
personal.
yes.
Is there one of those moments that you would like to share or something close to an experience you had in healing or in this process of grieving and healing that nature has brought?
Well, I have to tell you, times when I have been out in the woods, no headphones. If you want to get revelation, if you want to hear the voice of your loved ones, if you want to hear thoughts that maybe God is sending you, you need to take the headphones out. I like listening to podcasts too, but in order to hear, you need to listen to the rustle. You need to listen to the wind. You need to listen to whomever's trying to speak with you. And that means quiet. That means peace. And Ashley has definitely come to me and she said, Mom, I'm with my father. I'm with your mom. When my mother died a year later, pretty much almost to the date, a year later, Ashley came to me and she says, I have her. It's okay, Mom. She even said, you were the best mom. And she says, I want you to live your best life. And she says, I'm not gone. I'm just in a different form. I'm still with you. And I've heard those things. I've heard those things in nature. And I mean, God is the best interior designer, ever to design something. He designed our universe, our world. And that's where I get my revelation. And sometimes that's where my kid speaks to me, and my loved ones. And I've had my brother pass away. I've had my mother and my father pass away. But losing a child is so very unnatural that I it was so completely hard for me because I have always kind of been this helicopter parent where I feel like I'm always protecting my kids. I'm always protecting my kids. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but when Ashley passed away, I really kind of felt like I was holding myself accountable because mothers are supposed to save their children.
That's,
Mothers are supposed to protect their children.
yeah,
And I searched myself and I said I couldn't save her. I couldn't save her. I couldn't save her. But I'm supposed to because that's the role mothers are supposed to play. They're supposed to save their kids. And so I felt like I had let her down. Even though when I walked into the hospital room, I knew God told me she's going to be with me. She's going to be with me. I knew it. And it was really hard because I just felt like I was supposed to save Ashley.
yeah,
So being in nature helped me to, I would say, release that burden of kind of feeling like I was accountable for what happened.
yeah. I guys saying you prepared her for her journey to God. You did what was your job. Um,
Yeah,
yes,
thank you so much for I can't even imagine, but you are so right. God is the best creator, the best artist. And we know at least your daughter Ashley's there with him,
Yes.
and that's what gives us hope. You know,
Yes. And I'm
so
so thankful. I just want to say also to my kids, they have been the best kids in helping me and understanding me and helping me to get through this tragic loss. And I have to think about they lost their sister, so they were grieving too.
sure, yeah.
But I really do honestly believe that Heavenly Father gave me little Felicity so that she would save my life because she was the reason that I had to get up and walk her to school pretty much every day. And I think that I would have laid in that bed of misery and sadness if it wasn't for her. And I believe that when God was designing the whole situation or whatever, he was taking one daughter and giving me another one to help me through this difficult time. I cannot express how much Felicity helped me, just being rambunctious and being full
Mhm.
of life and still being happy. So I'm thankful to all of my kids for that.
And Sandra, it's so wonderful. How was is kind of by design, like you say, of course. At the same time, you have to, let me see. Can I reflect on that sentiment or that feeling, saying like you need to give yourself a pat on the back because it was still a choice. Some
yeah,
people, even with children around, they just decide to stay in bed. And you made that choice for the ones that were still with you, right? Around
you
you.
made a
Yes.
positive
Yes.
choice.
A conscious choice to wake up, to stand up, to walk her.
Yes.
Um, and that is good. A combination, right? A combination with her energy and her innocence and her
Yes. And you have
um
to realize
mhm,
that those other children are they want their mom. They want their mom. And I
Yeah.
remember my daughter Kimberly saying one time, she said, "Mom, we'll still here.
Yeah.
We are still here.
Yeah. The ones
So
that are, yeah.
so please, so please, even though you're sad, don't forget that we're still here." And that really hit me. And I'm thankful she said it.
Yeah.
And they got me up and going. And Kimberly now goes with me to Maine. I can't get rid of her now. She goes with me to Maine and she cooks every day, which is so wonderful. And we have such a good time. And now the rest of the kids are trying to jump on the Maine bandwagon. I'm like, man,
You wanted that to be your thing between you and
I
Ashley and
know. I'm
God.
like, they're all trying to jump on the Maine bandwagon now.
You're like, hey,
So,
That's
that's
awesome.
part of the mom. We're still here. We want to go party with you
yes,
over there
yes,
too. So,
yes.
Ike is saying that felicity is purpose. What a sweet sentiment. Your story will encourage so many others searching for purpose. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable. And yeah, sometimes this kind of stuff makes us uncomfortable, whatever it is. But I love that
Yes.
this is a sacred space and a place for you to share, to hold space for you, and that you have felt so open to share. And I know this is very, everybody watching right now, there's 7 viewers right now live, which is an amazing amount of people watching live.
Thank you.
Trish, hello, welcome, Trish. Ike, Aaron, Suzanne. I mean, we love it. And I think Lisa McKellop is watching too.
Hi, Lisa.
Wendy, like
Hi, Wendy.
it's been on and off.
Thank you, everyone.
We know people are busy and they can watch the replay at their convenience. But I want to, okay, so you've mentioned a couple of kids. You have a couple of kids, I know. You've mentioned Felicity, but then you also said that Kimberly has been wanting to join you in the main celebration. Well, I
Yes,
want to
she's been going with me for 3 years now.
and
So,
I want to help you the viewers understand she's another adult daughter she has, Kimberly.
yes,
And right
yes,
now, can I bring this up now, Sandra? Because I know you have
yes,
to go to your appointment. Um,
yes.
but Kimberly lives in Egypt.
She does.
And tell us a little bit
Cairo.
about that while I get the video ready. I have the video.
Kimberly was recently married to a wonderful man. His name is Mamdou. He's Egyptian. Um, I mean, we just went to her wedding in November. We had it in Aswan, Egypt at the Philae Temple. And I'm telling you, it was amazing. I've never experienced anything like it. Um, I'm not going to put any pictures up or anything until I get her permission, of course. But and also my extended family, Heba and Idol and Dina and Mito and Ali and Lila. My extended family, they're just wonderful.
Tammy, if we
It
get
was
viewers from Egypt, this is why.
Awesome.
We'll
it
be her
was
relatives.
wonderful. I'm telling you, those two, they designed their own wedding, and I've never seen anything like it
Can I
ever
share
in
that
my
video
life.
now? Can I share that video?
Yes,
So,
that's a video, not of the wedding, but just being in
yeah.
Cairo.
So this we had a little powwow, Sandra and another friend, Wendy, if she's watching too, where Sandra shared all these pictures with us. We connected her phone to our screen and we watched in a big screen. And this is one that I loved. Everybody else in the household, it's according to Sandra, was sleeping still in a beautiful morning. And she took advantage of that quiet moment. And she's like, I don't know why people waste time in a beautiful country like this.
I
And
I
then
understand.
get up early.
she woke up and oh, at least I saying I keep wanting to say thank you to Sandra for sharing her heart with us. I know some of this story, but I love hearing all the details that are so sacred. She does love
Thank you,
nature.
Lisa. Thank you,
Yes, yes.
Lisa.
So here is this video. I think I'm gonna be able to share here, right here. Let me make sure I'm sharing the sound and everything so you don't miss a thing. So yes. Okay, so listen to this beautiful meditation.
With a heavy heart today that I am hours from leaving Cairo. It's been a beautiful place full of beautiful people and beautiful archaeological I hope I said that right, things that actually send you back in time to a simpler time, to when you were fishing on the Nile or swimming in the Nile, minus the crocodiles, definitely. I am really sad to be leaving here, but I know, inshallah, I will be back. I will be back in Aswan, in Luxor, and Cairo. Thank you for coming on this trip with me, and thank you for praying for my family and our safe travels. And like I said before, if you can come to Cairo, come. See the beautiful people and the beautiful things and the beautiful, amazing wonders of the ancient world of Egypt. Until we meet again.
Ah, beautiful. Thanks for sharing.
It was an amazing trip. You have to go to Cairo. It's amazing. It's one of the oldest civilizations in the world. It is just completely amazing. I plan on going back. So,
I've heard that from somebody. Another friend told me the same thing. So it sounds amazing.
it's extraordinary.
and
Yes.
and for
And
you
just
to
to
take
sail on the Nile, it's amazing.
Yeah, and for you to take advantage with your love of nature, take advantage of that. And guys, you missed pictures of her with on a camel and everything, and it was lovely. And this is the purpose here. Right, Tammy, in Unlocking Freedom in Art, in Nature and Art, we want you to discover, experience, and transform. And going on getaway, signature adventures, retreats with us, connection adventures is what's going to help you develop and grow in life.
Well,
What can you,
and if they listen to Sandra's story, and I think Sandra explained, when you go on adventures and you're out in nature, that's when you experience and you discover and you transform, correct? Because that's when we learn the most.
Yes. And I think definitely when you're out in nature and when you, let's just say you take a wonderful trip somewhere, your heart is opened to those experiences, whether it be food, whether it be a different culture, your heart is expanded. Your understanding is expanded. And so you have to get out of your little box. And I even went to Maine during COVID because I promised my daughter I would go until this physical body ceases to exist. So I was on a plane during COVID with my mask on, of course, and because I had to have it on. Um, I went to Maine. And but I'm just telling you, anytime you travel, your mind is open. You're stepping out of the box of your life and opening it for others so that you may understand their culture, their food, their music, whatever. It's an adventure. So get into nature and step out of the box and make yourself a citizen of the world. So,
I
I
love
love it.
it.
Thank you so much,
Do you
Sandra.
have that expression trademarked? Because I think we're going to steal it from you. I love
I don't know. Someone may have already said it. I don't know.
I know
it.
we're gonna have to. You're gonna have to post some pictures of you on the camel or
Oh my
stuff.
Yeah.
gosh.
I'd love it when our audience posts different photos in the on our Facebook page. When you
Yes.
share
Yes.
those, you share your story. I love it. So thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you
appreciate
guys so much.
If
Thank you
you
so
have,
muit.
Sandra may have a couple of more minutes. If you have any questions, you feel free to type them in. Your comments are definitely amazing. Here is what I got from today. Step up even when it feels like it's the hardest thing ever. Get into nature and draw energy and solace from it. Be brave and get uncomfortable. Get sweaty. Get it
Yes.
with
Get
nature.
dirty.
Get dirty. Suzanne is saying, I cannot wait to get out of my box. Oh, Sandra, she's taking your words and get back to nature. I love my backyard, but I miss hugging my trees. So healing.
Yes. Hug them.
Yes. So Erin is saying hello again. Blessings to you and your family, Sandra. Thank you for sharing
Thank
your
you.
story.
Thank you.
And Shaheen Monsef, I don't know if you know that person, Sandra. You
Yes.
know Shaheen? Okay.
Hi.
Sending lots of love and hearts and flowers. I mean, this is amazing. Olivia Smith, the mother of earthing. I mean, I don't know if Sandra, you want to debate that, but there's a reason why I
I'll let
say
Olivia be the mother.
that. There's
Thank
a
you,
reason
Olivia.
behind that. She's saying hello, and
Hi.
these people are in our community are amazing. We love them. We love you, Sandra. Thank you so much for trusting me in this crazy thing. Sandra just had. Can I announce this? For years
Yes.
and years, and I think I've been in Facebook. Hey, what is it? Like 11 years or more? There's more
I don't
years.
know.
Sandra just opened her account yesterday.
Yay! Just so she could
I
be
just
here
want to
with
I
us.
just
We
want to
love
thank
it.
And it took her to watch a few of our episodes to see what we're about, and
yes.
and we've been
Well, you
friends
know, there
forever.
I just want to say thank you for everything, you guys. Thank you, Lori, for pushing me out of my comfort zone. And talking about Ashley is really difficult for me. And
Mm.
thank you for making a safe space where you and Tammy made the safe space where I could talk about her and just remember and just let you guys know how awesome she is. I refuse to say she was, but she
She
is.
still is.
And I want to thank everyone that took the time out of their day to be able to support and listen to my story. I really appreciate it so very, very much. Thank you so very much.
So I can say a Facebook virgin. Thank you. Thank you for letting us be your first.
Well,
And
and
Oh my
what we
God.
want is people that do get on Facebook realize that there are positive shows. There's positive ways
Mhm,
to use social media. You don't have to go on it to, listen to I just refuse to have anything negative on my post.
mhm.
I just want positive. I want to express kindness and positive messages, whether on any of my sites.
I love
Otherwise,
it.
I don't want to listen to them. It's like I went back like 12 years ago, like you said, and I was like, I'd write stuff. And sometimes all I do is post because to me, the post says enough.
Beautiful quotes, beautiful stories.
Hmm.
Like everything, you get out of something what you put in. So if you
Yes.
put out there, drama and negativism, that's what you're gonna get. I have a feeling. So,
I
and
agree.
then it can be as open as you want it to be, or as private and sacred as you need it to be. It can be
Yes.
used like every platform or tool. It can be used for good or for bad. And this, it's taken years, and I hope you have felt like my patience with you, like whenever you're
I
ready.
have felt your patience, Lori. I
I'm
have.
glad. I'm glad. At least I think I have been, but
Well, you're a
I know,
positive example, Sandra, and we
yeah.
really
Yes,
appreciate
yes,
you.
yes.
So we
So
love
Well,
that.
thank you so much.
I'm glad you
I'm
hopped in.
looking forward into jumping in the entire pool instead of just putting the big toe inside the pool. So I'm gonna give Facebook a chance. And like you said, Lori and Tammy, it could be good positive change. It could
Right.
be
And
good
you just
good
block those
things.
people that are spammers or negative. Just block
Trawlers.
them.
Yep, yep. Well, love to all. I know you gotta run out, and we want you to stay here with us for a couple of more seconds, Sandra, before you hop completely off. And we're gonna
Okay.
stop the live, sending lots of love to our viewers
Have a
and
great
our
week,
Thank you
everyone.
community.
Make
so
sure
much.
to
Thank you
share
so
light.
Bye
much.
bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.